Welcome back. Hawaii is slowly reopening its economy with social distancing rules. We are joined live by our Hawaii Bureau Chief Alfred Acenas, and from American Samoa, joining us live too is Arian Torres. Hello, Alfred and Arian.
Aloha,
Aloha.
Alma. There, it's aloha ahi. Dito naman, good morning, which is aloha kakayaka, which means good morning. Okay, it's
Early morning.
it has a different meaning. I know in Tagalog. Yeah, good morning is aloha kakahiyaka. Hey, Arian.
Yes, good evening there, and talofa and good morning here in American Samoa as well.
Okay. So Hawaii is slowly opening up its economy. What are the updates over there, Alfred?
Alma, glad you said that, and you presented what's been going on in the U.S. mainland, which is similar to what's going on here. But let me start first with the latest numbers. The total number of cases we've had is 642, which actually went down from 647. The reason for that was, according to the Department of Health here, the results of 5 tests in some of those patients could not be determined the cause to be COVID-19. So the cases were reduced, no? And as far as the percentage of recoveries, we're in the 90 percentile. So 9 out of 10 who get infected pretty much have a good chance of recovery. So that's what the state government is looking for. Also, the reopening involves the resumption of dine-in services in restaurants here in Hawaii, keeping social distancing in mind. Look at, if you see those posters that the city county of Honolulu provided as far as social distancing, for those who have no idea what 6 feet looks like, they've applied some familiar items to kind of give some scale of what 6 feet means, and they could not emphasize enough to ensure not just individuals but even establishments within their premises maintain 6 feet. Whether it's you have a bunch of tables, dining booths, that everyone has to be spread 6 feet or 2 meters apart. Now, the one thing that's to remember here, this groups of no more than 10. So that includes, like for example, a household like our household. We don't have to spread ourselves 6 feet or 2 meters apart. Mm-hmm. For those, only those who are outside of the household are expected to abide the social distancing. Mm-hmm. And then, like you said earlier in the broadcast about religious services, the governor, David Ige, has given the go-ahead for in-person spiritual activities here in Hawaii starting today, actually, May 23. So we'll see some updates and some reactions from a lot of groups, that will avail, and we'll see how they will abide by these new measures, Alma.
Uh-huh. I'm sure new normal measures would be in place in worship services.
Right. And you mentioned also the unofficial start of summer, because this coming Monday for the U.S. is Memorial Day.
Yes.
And even earlier today and in the last several days, lalo na sa in the beaches of Waikiki, like that one. Mm-hmm. Now, Ron managed to capture some shots that, okay, there's not much activity, but there are some spots around Hawaii that are grouping together in the middle of the water, which is also a no-no. And that's what the local governments are worried about, is being able to enforce social distancing, because what the state here is worried about is experiencing a surge. Mm-hmm. Also, the number of arrivals here in Hawaii are
Yes.
increasing, especially this month. It's already in the thousands. Not back in normal levels, but just in the 1,000 range,
Uh-huh.
which is still a large number because
Yes.
of the need to account for for those arriving and to be able to contact trace those who may be deemed to have symptoms. So the accountability aspect on the part of the state and the local governments will make it, will prove to be a challenge, especially in the coming months of summertime, Alma.
So when they arrive, do they have to do self-quarantine, self-isolation for 14 days? Is that
As a
required
matter
still?
of fact, the state has also extended until the end of June.
Oh,
Mandatory 14-day self-quarantine. And, as I'm watching the reports, there are still those who violate the quarantine. And I wrote an article in our eaglenews.net website that there was one California man who even posted and was even bragging about being outside,
yeah.
and authorities were able to confirm that and managed to catch him before he boarded his return flight. So a lesson out there for those who have plans, who are availing of discounts, so to speak, to come to Hawaii, is that there's still some laws to follow. Otherwise the authorities here will catch you one way or the other. And I wanted to point out, Alma, no, in addition to the quarantine, lawmakers here, even one of our congressmen, Ed Case, campaigned to the federal government for those who wish to come here to Hawaii, ideally for vacation. Some will sacrifice to stay in hotels, stay in place for 14 days. There's a push now to require pre-boarding tests before even flying to Hawaii. So that's another plan in which it eases the burden on the government here to have to do any kind of contact tracing and accountability. That way, we would screen those who may have symptoms before they even get on board the aircraft, Alma.
That's good. I've been asking all our bureaus because since countries, counties are opening up and the countries are trying to revive the economy. In Hawaii, now you said tourists are starting to arrive now, but what else is the government doing to help the businesses stand up on their feet again or stand back on their feet again?
Yeah, yeah, Alma. I know. I think you've mentioned many times this legislation that Congress passed back in March called the CARES Act. So billions of dollars are currently allocated for the state as far as helping individuals and businesses. Now, both the state and the city county of Honolulu, as well as the other county governments, have similar programs, and I'm just talking in general, to be able to provide incentives to individuals and businesses to spend. That way, there's a demand that's injected by the government so that the market can still operate. Ika nga. Right now, I remember the mayor just approved a new program to for those who qualify, if you meet a certain income threshold, or if you're unemployed, or if you are self-employed, which makes it even more challenging because you don't have a company to back yourself up with as far as a fallback. So there are some scenarios in which the government has taken into account, for those who those who may have lost jobs, they're
Yes.
going to be provided relief.
Uh-huh. What about the Filipinos? Were there any Filipinos who got stranded there? And if, for the
Um,
Filipinos who lost their jobs, how is the
yeah.
government helping them over there?
Now, we don't have the exact numbers as to as far as the communities, no. But I also provided an update not too long ago about the Philippine Consulate General Honolulu has launched a program to connect employers to those who are seeking jobs. And actually, I imagine it's not just for Filipinos. Anyone who needs help. It's called Trabajo HI, and more of that is available at the Philippine Consulate General of Honolulu's website, and in our website at eaglenews.net, where I wrote the article on. Right now, it's a partnership between the consulate and several business associations, chambers of commerce, the Filipino groups here, who are working together to reach out to employers and to promote this option to Filipinos for the most part, to have a chance to seek employment elsewhere.
Okay, so let's talk to Arian. Don't sleep on us now.
Hi. Hi again,
Kumusta, Arian?
Alfred.
How is American Samoa?
Yes, mabuting mabuti. We're good here in American Samoa, and it's still a good news for everyone that American Samoa is still COVID-free.
Galing naman. How were you able to maintain a COVID-free American Samoa? What were your... Congratulations! How'd you do it?
It's actually the protection of the governor here in American Samoa. Ever since kasi na nag-declare yung pandemic, ever since na naging pandemic siya, 2 weeks after the declaration ng state of emergency here in American Samoa, ay nag-lockdown na. I think that's one of the main reason kaya wala pa ring cases dito sa American Samoa. And then that was starting March and then until now. And now there's another 30-day request for Hawaiian Airlines for suspension. So supposed to be meron na sanang flight for June 4. But then the governor of American Samoa requested again to the president or CEO of the Hawaiian Airline to extend kaya hanggang end of June ay wala pa ring flight ang Hawaiian Airline from Honolulu bound to Pango, American Samoa.
Bakit Hawaiian Airlines lang ba ang naglaland dyan sa American Samoa?
That's right, Alma. American Airlines is the only one from anywhere in the U.S. Only from Honolulu. Now, of course, you have Samoa Airways, right, Arian? Sana from Independent Samoa to.
Yeah, it's just like and only. Even though there are different country, even Samoa is independent, but there are 2 Samoas. But then that's all. There's only those 2. And then international, big one is the Hawaiian Airline.
Good to remind you that again, and for the sake of our viewers, of course. So, sa American Samoa, how is testing pala? Can you give us an update on the... Yes, go ahead.
Yes, meron na kaming testing dito, meron ng testing center. At dumating na yung lahat ng equipment na hinihintay. Meron na ring isolated place para just in case na magkaroon ng case. But then so far, sa lahat ng mga natitest, all negative naman ang lumabas. And then continuous pa rin yung testing as of right now.
So now we can say legit talaga, 0 cases in American Samoa kasi kumpleto na yung testing.
Yes. Yes.
And schools, kumusta pala? Schools, are they open now? New normal measures in place?
Yes, yung school, Ayun, according to the declaration of our governor here in American Samoa, officially closed na siya for the school year 2019-2020. And then we're just waiting for the graduation na lang ng mga students, high school students, na graduation na is gonna be virtual. They
Okay.
already have their meeting with all the principals, and then both private and public school, it will be virtual na lang. So that will take place by June. Second week ng June siya. And then we're still waiting for the new declaration kung anong mangyayari kasi yung declaration is maglalapse ng June 1. So waiting kami dito kung ano yung magiging school year plan for 2020-2021.
What about reopening
Dito-
of business? Oh, yes. Go ahead, Alfred.
Dito naman sa Hawaii, Alma, graduation season is already underway, particularly for the high schools. For the most part, they're doing this virtually and through a web platform such as what we're using right now. And then what the students and families would do, they're going to drive to the campus, nakapila sila, and then they're going to be individually recognized at the school parking lot to actually receive their diplomas. Again, there's still social distancing. There's no gathering of large numbers allowed. So it's still going on. Especially, I think there's several more high schools here in Hawaii that are going to hold their ceremonies, virtual or alternative ceremonies. At the collegiate level, there's nothing that's uniform, or it's really. There's not a whole lot of standardized procedures that the University of Hawaii or the other universities here have in place. They just simply recognized those who have completed their degrees, Alma.
Okay. In American Samoa, what businesses are opened now?
Very limited pa rin yung operation hours ng mga businesses dito. Just like yung minention ni Alfred kanina, American Samoa is a U.S. territory. So kasama kami dun sa CARE Act, but still on process kung paano yung magiging distribution, I think, nung funding para dyan. But then, nandyan yung support ng government para makarecover yung mga businesses dito, especially yung mga small businesses. Kasi until now, since the Code Blue was implemented, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. pa rin yung nagiging operational hours ng mga businesses dito, especially yung mga store to buy essential needs of the people here in American Samoa.
In Hawaii, Alfred, what businesses are open there in Hawaii?
The large malls, I'm sure you're familiar with the name Ala Moana, right,
Of course.
Alma?
Is it open now?
So the large malls as a whole are open, but not all the stores, like the anchor stores, yung mga tipong department stores that have national chains also in the mainland. They're not open yet, as far as we know. Their schedules will probably run differently from the other stores that are here that are being allowed to open. The hours, I believe, and this is something that we will see more evolve, especially come the first week of June. The hours are still modified because to actually promote safety, additional safety measures. So how they're going to extend the hours, when they're going to extend the hours, it's case by case. But that's just part of the gradual resuming back to normal, Alma, for business establishments.
All right. Thank you very much. Any last message? Any plugs?
You mentioned plugs, Alma.
Yes.
Because
I really mentioned
we're
it.
part of the U.S. and we For those who wake up in the morning, on a normal basis during the week, Alma, no. Eagle News Canada has been broadcasting there Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. So Canada, Thomas Likeness, those guys there, who brag about their cups of coffee. Please join them at 7 a.m. Monday to Friday, and Eagle News Washington D.C. I think at 10 a.m. There in the Philippines, where we cover again the latest and greatest on the pandemic, and what's being done for us to recover from it. So that's my plug, Alma.
Okay. And Arian, maybe we can join them one time. Okay, so Arian, any last
Yes.
message for us before we go?
Yun. Yes, I just wanted to say thank you. So, that's the update all in American Samoa. Alma?
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Mag-iingat ka, Arian. Although, congratulations to American Samoa for a successful, they were able to curb the spread of the virus. No virus at all. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
We live in interesting times. We live in interesting times.